Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome here at Crypto Hash Review, where we educate and disseminate information about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency from a Muslim perspective. We are continuing on our rebuttals or our replies to objections given against Bitcoin. And as we said before, we intend no disrespect to the ones who made these objections. We are just trying to have an educated discussion where we provide alternative understandings and explanations to objections that were given. And the second point we had was, or as I quote, money in Islam is two types. That which has value in itself and people accept it. Money has no value in itself, but the economy backs it up. Bitcoin has no value. So I guess the objection here is that they're saying that things that have value in and of itself, as in like gold and silver, and people accept it, and people say, okay, I'll accept that gold, I'll accept that silver. And looking at our history of money, that makes sense. That when we try to standardize a debt, standardize and quantize what people owe you, we did so in things that people actually want, physical things, because just the idea that someone owes me doesn't hold much weight when it comes to enforcing those rights. So if I gave you a handful of sand and say, here you go, this is proof that I owe you something, I mean, who would take that as proof of anything? It has to be something that someone really wants. And you could almost say, in a way, that thing that people want, it's almost like you're taking that thing as ransom. So I'm going to hold that thing, and you're not going to get your hands on it until you exchange it for what I want. So this was the objection that was given. So that's the first type of money that was given. The second type of money that was given as a type of money was the money has no value, but the government backs it by itself, or backs up by itself by the economy. Again, I think this is a misunderstanding of how fiat money actually functions, how it actually works. Fiat money does have value, but the value is forecasting rather than preceding. So unlike gold, silver, and other things where you have to actually exert effort, time, and skills to make it happen, make it come to exist, and that's the value of that thing. Fiat money is issuing the thing first and then working off the value of that later on. And how does that make sense? How is that true? Because it's a debt. Fiat money, the basis of fiat money, is a debt to be paid back. And if you have a debt to pay back, that means that at some point you have to exert yourself, effort, economic mindset, economic energy to produce work, to earn extra money, to pay back the debt. So it's almost like bringing forward work from the future to now in the form of money, whereas the other type of money was money from the past by work done and form in itself. And then it says here, Bitcoin has no value. Now this logically doesn't make sense. Because, or when I say logic doesn't make sense, as in if you follow the rules of logic, which says if A equals B, then B equals C, and therefore A is equal to C, that kind of thing. So number one, money has to be something that has value in itself and people accept. So the unsaid part of this argument is that Bitcoin has no value because it's not something physical. And that is the biggest problem or hurdle people, Muslims and non-Muslims alike, have to get their mind over, is how do we assign value to something that hasn't got a physical form? Because historically speaking, they've only been able to materialize value in a physical form. Let me give you an example. An idea, words. Can I really add value and own a word or own a poem or own something? I mean, I can say it's my poem, but can I stop you from saying that poem? Can I stop you from memorizing that poem? Can I stop you from telling someone else about the poem? I can't really do so, because once it's out there, it's out there. So same thing with regards to like, you get the gist. But with regards to in the past, the best way to make sure we can actualize, materialize ownership is to have physical ownership, as in this is physically now mine, this is in my hand, and that's my proof that it's mine, physically. But that's actually what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin, or the network of Bitcoin, was the first time in the history of mankind, we were able to actually have ownership to information, whereby something could be mine and I can prove it's mine and I can stop you from taking it from me, although it's not actually tangible. And that's the challenge that we have to deal with, is that Bitcoin, number one, it's actually ownership of information, where I can actually own and prove that I own and prevent you from using that thing which is information. And secondly, when it says has no value, in that case, are we saying that a good idea has no value? That if doesn't that kind of eliminate consultancy work, where essentially consultancy means I am paying him for his information that's in his head, which I can't touch, but I can hear and I can benefit from. Or a poem or an email or a program. Are we saying that Microsoft Word, that Windows has no value, that apps have no value? Of course they do. And we spend lots of thousands of pounds a year on applications, which is basically information. And we enforce ownership of that through the law. But Bitcoin is a way whereby we can enforce ownership of something through mathematics without need of the law. So I would say Bitcoin is exactly money, because it has both value, because it's something that it has scarcity, it has rarity, it has ownership, and people actually want it. And on top of that, most importantly, it takes effort, physical, electrical, logistic effort to actually make a Bitcoin. If you actually calculate how much energy goes into just making a Bitcoin, I would say that is the value of Bitcoin. Anyway, I hope you find this video useful. If you like this video, press the like on the video, share it to your friends and family. If you want to contact us, you can contact us on our website, Crypto Hash Review. And we look forward to our next video, where we take apart or we analyze the objections against Bitcoin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.